Hey, time for a fun video, right? Yes. So, I bought this baby spinach some time ago, and it was Best By date was March 10th, and even though it is the 14th, she's looking pretty darn good. Yeah. So what am I going to do with it? I think I'm going to make spinach pie in kind of in the Greek style. Um, why not? I have a little bit of feta. I also have some other cheeses. I might go a little weird on this and maybe mix the two. I don't know, which would take it away from the Greekish tone of spinach pie and maybe like Americanize it a little bit. I even have thought of adding a little bit of egg and milk to it to give it a custardy inside, consistency inside the phyllo leaves. I had bought phyllo leaves back in December as I was going to make baklava, but everybody's on a diet, and so I said, okay, I'm not going there. I made my Greek sugar cookies, which I'll take you on that journey the next time I make them. And please don't think I've forgotten about this Swedish meatloaf. Maggie wants her kitchen to be clean enough for the video. Plus, I have to wait for my food stamps to buy the ingredients because I don't want to make her have to, pay for that and for my video. So yeah, let's make something. Let's make some spinach pie. I'll be right back. So first we need to cook down the spinach, right? So I'm going to put some avocado oil in this pan rather than olive oil because we're going to be cooking it at about a number 6. Medium high. And I'm just going to take all of this spinach and I am going to just shove it in there. I've got a head harness and a chest harness coming, so soon we won't have to hope that I'm getting a proper shot anymore. It'll be on my head, so what my eyes see, you'll be able to see, and that'll be good. See how none of this spinach went bad or turned or anything? I was pretty thrilled about that. It's like, yeah, no waste. No waste is a biggie in this day and age. Okay, so it's all going to sit in there, and then what I'm going to do is that's my deeper frying pan, and I do not have a lid for it. I just wipe the dust to make sure there's no dust in it. I've got this flatter, almost like a griddle frying pan, and I'm going to stick it right on top of this one, like so. So we can just smother that old spinach right down, and then we're going to squeeze out excess juice, because you know how spinach is. It's wet, which is probably good. Probably, flushes out toxins and, spinach and other green vegetables that are wet are just really good for you and carry all kinds of healthy things, right? And at our age, at any age, we want to be healthy or healthier or try to undo possible damage we did early on. Oops. Be right back. So it's starting to cook down, and I take my 2 spoons and I kind of like take one in each hand and toss it around while it's cooking down. Toss it like you would have said, wee, let's take that one back. And then I take my pan again and I cover her back up. Now I want to make all the elements that go into this pie. I want to get all the elements done first. I want my spinach to be cooked and squeezed out. I'll leave that in a strainer in the sink. I want my cheese sauce, because what I've decided to do is, because I still have leftover vegetables that need to be used before my next shopping, I've cut up zucchini. I have an orange pepper that's starting to wrinkle and really needs to be used up. And I still have those beautiful green onions from the farmer's market. And most of it is the white part of the onion. Let me show you, which I'm going to have to clean up a bit. There. These are going to have to be cleaned, and some of them look a little nasty like this, but all you do is you take off all the skin and everything, and you've got that lovely white onion again. See how it has a very, very thin skin? I just find one of those thin skins, and I pull until it's a beautiful green onion again. Take off all that extra, see? They're just going to be washed and chopped up, and they're going to go into probably the sauce. Yeah, and I also have some fresh basil inside that. Whoa, sounds to me like something's cooking. Let's see what we got going. Oh yeah, she's cooking down really fast. Let me turn this, and then I'll show you what we got. Oh, it's browning even. I think I'll lower this down. That's okay. Browning doesn't bother me, you know. Oh, sorry. I left the camera. See? Now I'm just shut it down. And I'm not going to cover it because I don't want it to condensate. I don't want it to get any wetter than it's probably already going to be, right? And I'm not going to chop this up any more than it's cut, because it's baby spinach and it's already pretty darn small. Yep. Okay. Alrighty. What am I going to do next? Cut up some vegetables, and you don't need to watch that. So this video is about using what you have when things are getting low and it's before your shopping day. I was thinking about, so I already had that phyllo, but you might have a pie crust, a frozen pie crust from the holidays. Maybe you have some leftover chicken or turkey that might even be frozen. Maybe you have some cranberry sauce. I remember these people when I lived in Virginia for a little while in the Blue Ridge Mountains. We had met this lovely family. She was a Catholic woman, and they had a little farm, and a very peculiar family. They had cows but wouldn't slaughter them because they had become their pets. For me, I would have been, bossy, come on over here. You're looking like a steak to me. But this was them, and that was then. And she made this casserole for us they called chicken stuffing. Maybe you're familiar with it, maybe you're not. She took the cut up cooked chicken. She'd add a bag of maybe, you know, mixed vegetables, or I'd use whatever might happen to be cooked and sitting in the fridge. And that went in with the chicken. And then there was gravy, and I think, yeah, she did baked potatoes on the side rather than potatoes in with that. And so she had this lovely casserole with chicken, vegetables, and gravy. And on top of that, she put a layer of stuffing and then baked it till the stuffing was nice and crispy on top. And she'd serve that with cranberry sauce and baked potatoes, and it was just great. I mean, think of things that you could do to use up your leftovers so there's no waste. And, you know, that's kind of a big deal for me. I do waste on occasion because I forget it's in the fridge. Maybe I bought too many groceries. The other thing that happens sometimes is I can't smell or taste, so I'll be loath to eat it until I can find somebody to smell it for me and make sure it isn't bad. And I got 2 items in the fridge right now that are like that. One is, actually I threw the old hot dogs away. They didn't look good, but I have a package that's closed. I bought a Oscar Mayer, so 2 hot dogs had to go in the garbage. And, you know, I had hot dogs and I didn't want hot dogs anymore. It happens, right? But yeah, just, you know, using up leftover things. And that's why I decided, instead of going the Greek route with a just spinach pie, I used to work for a little restaurant in Portsmouth, New Hampshire called Clarence's Chowder House. And I was a cook, and occasionally I was the waitress as well. And she made this beautiful phyllo and laden strudel leaves, also known as a veggie pie. It was so amazing. Of course, she had a lot more vegetables in it than I'm going to have, but I said to myself, I'm going to use up these onions, the zucchini, the spinach, the pepper, and I'm going to make a version of veggie pie. It's quite delicious in a custardy cheese sauce, and that's what I think I'm going to do with my leftover vegetables. And that's going to last me beyond shopping day. And since I adore anything with a crispy crust, I think this is going to be pretty good. We'll see how it comes out. So now I have, oops, close this over because the light's being bombarded. I have 1 chopped orange pepper. I don't know how much of this was the zucchini, but it was what was left over when I made that Greek stew. Chopped into little bite-sized pieces. And my green onion, all chopped up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lovely pot here, and I'm going to cut off, what am I doing? I don't know. Oh, yes, I do remember. I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of butter, because I like butter. And we're just going to melt this bad boy right down. Yep. What are we going to do after that? Heck, I don't know. I'm flying by the seat of my pants here. I don't have any regular white flour, and I feel that actually I do have white whole wheat. It's going to be a little grainy and odd, but I think I'll use that. It'd be a, you know, something I could use up. What was that? I've been hearing things again. I'm going to put, I think, 3 tablespoons of this in with the butter. Maybe a little heaping. 1, 2. Maybe a little more heaping. 3. I had this during the pandemic, but it was in the freezer and then it was in my fridge, best used by 2020, but I'm using it anyway. Sorry about walking away like that. I had some leftover cheddar cheese that God knows how long it's been in the, it expired December 8th, 2020. But I'm going to use it. Alright, so the butter's melting. Just because it says Best Buy doesn't mean that it's not edible. It means that the taste is not going to be as good, and, you know, maybe it won't even, like, rise as well if you're baking with it and things like that. So they call this a roux. I call it mixing flour and butter together to make a sauce, but that's me. It's going to be pasty, and then I'm going to pour milk on it slowly, you know. I think I'm going to want to do, let's see, if I'm going to do 3 eggs, 2 cups of milk would probably be appropriate here. Yes. Whoa! Worst cameraman in the South. Southeast at the very least. That rhymed. Yeah, okay. Well, this is doing whatever the heck it's doing. A little chunky. That's because it's whole wheat flour. White would be so much better. I could use my Kodiak pancake mix, but eh. Alright, this is becoming something. Something scary. Yeah, I need milk. And you're going to have to hold on again 1 second, because I'm not going to keep shutting it off and turning it on. It's driving me crazy. I can still talk to you while I'm mountains away, I think. I don't know if you'll hear me, but... Alright, so I'm going to start slowly pouring in this milk. And I can show you what I'm doing. About a, quarter of a cup, and I'm going to stir it in. So that it kind of melts in. I hope you can see this. You know, even when I have my head harness and my chest harness, it's still going to be, I'm still not going to know what you're seeing. I wish they had like a little thing where you could actually see what's going on. Whoa, this needs more milk. So that's all I'm doing, is I'm incorporating milk into this thickened, ew, oh, is that spinach? Or have I got an alien in here? I don't know, but I'm scared suddenly. Does that look like... Oh, yeah, because I'm using the spoon from the spinach. What is wrong with you, Nikki? I'm afraid of everything. Yeah. What do they call that? Allophobia? Allophobia. Well, this is just plain old boring now. I wish I could use my whiskey thing, but I threw away, like a crazy person, I gave away my rubbery whisk. I was getting all ready for van life back when Dennis died, and like the crazy person that I am, I just put stuff in boxes and got rid of it. You know, I didn't know if I was gonna get any money or if I was gonna have to just sell this and get out when he first died. I remember talking to him about it so many times. Dennis, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? I don't know, Nikki, I'm sorry. That's well, there goes that fork. I have a plastic fork and I'm hoping it won't scratch my what is this called? I don't know, but I'm hoping it won't scratch it. I think I'm ruining my roux. Got too hot on the bottom and lumped up. Oh, who cares if there's a couple lumps? Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. Jeez, lid. Okay. Okay, hey, this is nice. That 1 cup is all incorporated, and now I'm just going to straight pour my 2nd cup because it won't lump up because the lumps are out from using a plastic fork. How ingenious of me. Yes, Nikki, you're a genius. Now what am I going to do? I don't know. I'm just going by things I've done in the past. There's no recipe. I'm terribly sorry. But so far we have 3 tablespoons of butter, 3 heaping tablespoons of flour. You can always use cornstarch, but I don't know what the amounts would be in that. And once this starts bubbling up and, let me show you. That's 2 cups in there, okay? 2 cups of milk with the 3 heaping tablespoons of flour, 3 tablespoons of butter, and next, what am I gonna do? I don't know. Something. I guess I'm gonna wait for it to thicken. You don't have to wait with me, but I appreciate you offering. By the way, I did get some milk. Maggie was going over to the Dollar General. Don't buy milk from the Dollar General. A half a gallon of 1%, $3 and something. I didn't know, or I would have said forget the milk, but then I wouldn't be making this if I'd said forget the milk. And when I go next time shopping, which should be after the 16th, I'll tell you what, I'm getting a gallon this time. I'm always afraid of wasting milk, right? I'll just make something with it. Okay, that's all I wanted to say about that. So this is starting to look really nice. It's thickened up nicely. It's going to get thicker once it starts to boil. And when that happens, I'm going to start to put the cheese in and stir that. It doesn't matter how much cheese you have. I'm using what I've got because that's just the way it goes around here, you know. And first of all, I can't taste it anyway. And second of all, I've got, I don't know how much that is. It looks like enough to me. Doesn't look like, oh, let's put in a measuring cup and find out how much it actually is. This was from my milk, but I don't care. It's all going in the same place, right? Let's see if I've got at least a cup of cheese here. And let's make sure there's no mold because it's really old. Wow, you know what? It's going to be over a cup of cheddar cheese. Ew, it's a little mushy on the bottom. That's probably from defrosting in the freezer, I hope. I just got cheese all over the place. Well, anyway, so I've almost got a cup. See? Plus I got this, so it must be close to 2 cups, and my milk is now boiling, and I'm going to throw it in. I really hope that this wetness is just condensation and not the fact that it might be ruined. Who knows? I think it just got wet from coming out of the freezer. And I'll show it to you. There's absolutely no mold. I keep hearing noises and I'm getting freaked out. Wow, I don't know if I need that other bit of this was the part that got all mushy on the bottom of the bag. I think it's because I took it out of the freezer, put it in the refrigerator, and I think it just kind of like lumped up. See the nice cheese sauce? I'm going to throw the rest in because, heck, I'm not putting it back in the freezer. I mean, for the love of Pete, it's like a year, right? Because 2021, it expired, well, you know, best buy date was, what was it? 2020, did I say? And that was December? Is that what it said? Yeah. December 8th of 2020 was its sell-by date. I had put it in the freezer for over a year. But you know what? I've used it here and there, actually. Hey, why waste? So now it's a very thick sauce. That's lovely. See? Let's hope it tastes good. I'm never gonna know. Talk about crazy, right? I'm gonna throw my basil. Yes, it's basil. And I can barely smell it. I'm gonna throw a couple basil leaves in, and I'll probably pull them out before they go in the oven. Just for flavor. Alright, I'm done with that. Dare I try it? Who knows? Tastes salty. Oh my, that's still on. What was I going to do? It's a little sour tasting. I really hope that cheese didn't go bad. I don't know. Anything's possible, right? Okay. Now, I had forgotten that I had, from the farmer's market, in my Debbie Greenmeyer's box, wrapped in paper towel, this lovely purple cauliflower head. And I'm just going to cut it off into beautiful little bite sizes like this. And it is also going to go into this veggie pie. Okay. Working with strudel or phyllo leaves. I have wet this clean dish towel with warm water. It doesn't have to be warm. It just has to be wet, but not soaking wet. And I'm wringing it out to make sure it's not going to soak my phyllo. Let me get that out of the fridge. Phyllo comes frozen and in 2 lovely little packages like this. I'm only going to use the contents of 1 package. So what we do, let's see if I can get you down here to be able to see what I'm doing there. That's my glass cutting board. I'm going to unroll the strudel leaves. We'll call them strudel leaves. Okay? Then I'm going to cover over them a little bit because I don't want to make them soaking wet, but we don't want them to dry out either. And I do not have a brush, so I'm going to put some olive oil. Now you can use butter if you want, but olive oil is probably going to give it a better taste. If you were using butter, you'd melt your butter, but don't let it brown, and then you would take your pastry brush, and you'll see what I'm going to do. I'm going to be using my hands. Here's my olive oil. Can you see my bowl? There it is. I'm gonna pour some olive oil into there. And because I don't have a brush, I will be using my hands. I do need a big pan, but I don't have one. I think I gave it to Maggie and didn't get it back. Oh no. This isn't going to be good. I have this smaller baking pan. I recommend a big one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to oil the bottom and sides of my pan. This is very important because you just don't want it to stick. I'm sorry, I hope you're seeing the right thing. I keep forgetting where my camera is. And the olive oil will give it a nice crispy texture as well. Now let's get back to what I was doing. You can see that, right? Wait a minute, what the heck is this? The toaster. I have a very small area here to work with. So now I'm going to take the plastic off. I'm going to pull up a couple leaves. Like, oh, they're not going to cooperate at all, are they? Nope. That's okay. The beauty of phyllo is you can patch it. So I'm going to lay down a couple sheets of phyllo there. So you'll be able to see how this is done. I'll show you in a minute what I'm doing. A couple pieces there. Oh, what a shame that they're sticking together like that. I'm going to put some there. I'm going to put another sheet here. All right. Is that about half of the other one? Put one like that. I have layered this up. It started ripping, so I just put it however I wanted to. And one of the secrets is you want to leave a little over the edges so you can fold what's going to be the crust back over. It's very delicate. It breaks very easily. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fingers, and I'm going to need both hands for this, okay? But so that you can get an idea what I'm doing, I'm just going to cover these strudel leaves with oil. Hopefully you can see how I'm doing it. Whoa! It just wants to go all over the place, but where I want it to go, of course. And the beauty of the olive oil or the butter is it'll allow it to almost act like a glue and make it stay a little better. If you feel like, you know, you don't have a good crust down, and I'm seeing some bare naked spots that I want to make it just a little bit thicker. You want to try to handle this as delicately as you possibly can. I'm going to pick up another strudel leaf, and I'm going to lay it on top of there, and it won't need any oil because I've really drenched the ever-lovins out of it. You don't need it as thick on the top as you're going to need it on the bottom. That's just the facts. Just the facts, ma'am. All right. But I'm going to throw a little oil on it anyway because I'm nuts. And I like a good crispy top, you know, and bottom as far as that's concerned. And I'm almost using all of that olive oil, okay? Come on, get on up there now. Get along, little doggy, get along. Alrighty. So, what have I got left here? Oh, I got a lot left. I'm going to throw a few more pieces in here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to throw them side to side because there's still plenty. I'm going to go back and forth, you see. Now I'm going to lay them lengthways, right? Lengthways across. So they were lengthways this way, right? Then lengthways that way. And that way you have a really nice crusty bottom. And I might even add a little more. You don't have to rub, you can just pat. Okay, I'm liking that. Let's see what we got left now. We still have an awful lot left. I'm going to put another one down lengthways. And another one down. And this is what we have left for the top. It's the bottom that I'm worried about, not the top. I hope you can see this. See what I got left? Just enough in my book. So now what are we going to do? Well, we're going to start placing these vegetables in. I think I'm going to put the driest vegetable on the bottom. And I think that would probably be my cauliflower. And I'm going to break it up a little extra because I want to make sure it's going to cook. Now, I remember the woman at Clarence has always said, you want them to be able to know this is cauliflower or broccoli, not say, ew, what's this green thing? Or in this case, what's this purple thing? And I get it. I get it. But I know what it is, so it isn't like I'm serving this to strangers. There. I'm throwing the very bottoms away because they're not gonna, the really hard part of it probably isn't going to cook, and maybe you think that's a waste, and maybe it is, but I can only eat so much, folks, okay? I'm one person, maybe a fat person, but I'm still one person. Now I'm going to put the green onions on top of the, what I'm trying to do is make kind of a, what would you call it? A barrier a barrier of what I think would be the drier vegetables. Oh no! I've got more of that. Let's put that aside for now. I don't know if I'm going to need that. Well, maybe just these 3 pieces here. Chunky tuna. I thought there wasn't enough down here anyway. Okay. Then I'm going to put my green peppers in. Oh, I'm sorry. They're orange peppers. I beg your pardon. Oh, that's going to have a peppery flavor, I'll tell you what. Well, you know, orange peppers don't really taste like anything, do they? Well, not to me anyway. Oops. And then I'm going to put... You want a nice stuffed pie because this is going to shrink as it bakes. Don't forget that. So I'm probably going to put the rest of that cauliflower in. I hope I'm not making you people who don't like vegetables sick to your stomach. I'm going to take my spinach and I'm going to kind of like, you know, what would you call this? I'm kind of spreading it out because it's leafy and needs to be spread out. I don't know. What the heck is she talking about? Search me. There. I'm going to show you this quick so you have a idea of what I'm doing. Now, I put the spinach on top because, you know, spinach is really wet. So underneath there, you got your zucchini, you got your peppers. Under that, there's the purplish cauliflower. There's green onion. And, you know, we're just covering everything up. Make sure that each bite has all the vegetables in it, right? Right? Okay. Ooh, I left this undone, but that's okay. It was getting a little, the phyllo, I didn't cover it. I'm going to put some more of this on. Why? Because I like it. Because I want to use it up. I don't want to put a little tiny bit of vegetable back in the fridge and then, whoa, it ends up going to waste. Oh, I'm going to throw that away. I don't like where that landed. Right? Just using up the veggies. And I think this is good. This looks like the right amount. It's just going to heap up over the edge a little bit. Nothing too drastic. It's probably going to be really delicious in the sauce. Come on, you. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Mercy. I thought I'd better make up for all of my depressed videos. I'm like, oh gee, I gotta do something cheerful for those who are looking for cheerful. Okay, and then what happens next? I'm going to tell you what happens next. I'm going to take the phyllo leaves several at a time. Oh no, I'm not. Hold the bus. I have 3 eggs that I'm going to crack into this container. 1. Sorry you can't see this, but this isn't like the cooking channel or the food channel or whatever channel. I'm going to take those 3 eggs and I'm going to beat them. I'm going to beat the tar out of it. I got a shell in there, but I'm not going to try to get it out. It'll probably cook in the process. And then I'm just going to I'm not going to add it to the hot cheese sauce. I'm just going to pour it right over the vegetables. That egginess, okay? When it's cooking and it's boiling and it's doing all that kind of stuff it does, that, let's pull the basil right out of there. Mix up that cheese sauce one last time, and then start pouring it over everything. I knew the cheese sauce would still be too hot to incorporate the eggs directly in it, so I incorporated the eggs into the vegetables with the hopes that, what is the hope? I don't know. I'm hoping for something. success. I like to use my scrapers. That way I'm not missing any of the goodness here. And there's still a lot of cheese sauce in that kettle I'm going to have to scrape out. Right? Right. Oh, the dishes. The one thing I hate about cooking is the dishes. I hope you can see this as I get the last of this cheese sauce out of this pan. Right? I am so glad I didn't put the phyllo leaves on top of it without the cheese sauce. Now that would have been a disaster. And I'm just going to spread it out. Make sure everybody has enough cheese sauce covering on them. Oh, you happy vegetables in your little bed. Yeah. Okay, then I'm going to take several strudel leaves at a time. Okay, it's being very uncooperative. Very uncooperative. I'm going to take a big chunk of them and lay it on top. I'm going to take my fingers and smooth it over with olive oil. It may sink into the other strudel leaves and it may not. I would guess it's going to soak in. See how it breaks up? You got to be so careful. So careful. And then I'm going to put these because they don't want to separate from each other readily either. And then I'm going to take my greasy fingers. A brush is so much nicer. I think it has a little more control and maybe a little less troubles. Yeah, see, I could have even layered more on the bottom of this because really you don't need this much on the top, but I refuse, and I mean I refuse to waste it. And that's the last of it. And unfortunately for me, I did use up all of that oil. Heavens to Murgatroyd. The calories in this is going to be bad. 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 Okay, so now I'm going to take my edges, which are already drying out, and I'm going to flip them right in. And really, you should have a little brush so you can brush these edges with oil. But I'm not going to do that because I think I've used enough oil. Mercy. Oh, I need the vacuum cleaner. This is going everywhere. I'm just not fast enough. That's my problem. All right, so it doesn't look pretty, but here's a suggestion. If you're going to do it like I'm doing it, my suggestion is this. Leave a couple of phyllo leaves to lay over this mess. Okay? Okay. So a couple of caveats. First of all, the eggs, when I whipped them up, I probably could have added either a little bit of vegetable broth to those eggs to make them spread out nicer. I could have added a little milk to those eggs. I didn't want to incorporate them into that very hot cheese sauce because I know they would have scrambled. And I don't know what I'm going to have as a result. But, you know, I was trying to be fast and efficient and really wasn't thinking that much about it. I'm like, que sera, sera, as I usually say. The other thing is the cheese sauce was very thick, and there's good reasons for that. One, the vegetables are probably 70% or more of water, and as they cook in the oven, they're going to emit their juices, which is going to incorporate with both the eggs and the cheese sauce, making it thinner. So that's what I'm hoping on anyway. So it's on now, and I put it in while it was preheating so that the eggs would start to temper with the heating of the oven, so it wasn't like shock scrambled eggs. And so yeah, it's going to be in there for probably an hour is what I'm going to do. And then I will show you my end result. Now, if this gets knocked out because a phone call happens, or it just decides to have an attitude, I'll give you the end product in a separate short video. So that's pretty much it for right now. I will include, because I've got my laptop working, I can bring up my YouTube channel and actually edit and fix whatever my phone will not do or say, because I have to keep switching it around back and forth to be able to see the top and then to be able to see the bottom until my new phone comes. Bear with me. And yeah, so I just felt like something else for dinner. I got sick of the vegetable stew. I put it in containers and froze it in the freezer. As a matter of fact, today I pulled out some salmon that I had cooked before that was frozen. I had that with coleslaw that had been sitting forever in my green boxes. So I'm glad I have the green boxes. It didn't even brown. It was in beautiful condition, and that was almost 2 weeks ago that I opened that package. Yeah. So it was a lot of coleslaw. Wow. From Sam's Club. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We'll see what happens when it comes out of the oven and cools. Don't cut it till it's cooled down at least 10 minutes. That's with anything that's going to be a custardy type of concoction. You don't want it to get all watery and leak. I don't know how else to put it. It runs, whatever you want to call it. Separates, becomes liquid water and icky custard, so we don't want that. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but that's okay. We had fun, didn't we? Yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to end this so that I can download it now, because I know there's a lot of people out there, they want to watch something fun. I gave you, another sad topic this morning because it's on my mind, and I know it's on other people's minds. And so I just wanted to cover a couple of things. That's pretty much it. Okay, so I'm going to end the video here, and I will give you a short of the end result. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being there. Bye.